try to focus. Okay. So welcome back, students. So in this session, we will be learning regarding setting out of simple curves. Okay, we are dealing with simple curves. Okay, after we finish up with simple curves, then we have to head on to compound curves and also transition curves. Okay, so first we will be learning regarding simple curve. Okay, so here we are especially dealing with circular curves. Okay, circular curves. So keep this in mind, circular. Okay, so what does setting out mean, or what we mean by curve ranging? Curve ranging. Okay, meaning if you have the if you know the data of your particular curve, say you know the radius, you know the length of long chord. Okay, and if you know the degree of the curve, how can you particularly set it out in the field? Okay, how we have to do the survey, how we have to set the particular curve in the field. Okay, we are going to learn a few methods regarding this. Okay, so setting out curves mean locating various points. Okay, locating various points at equal or convenient distances. It may be equal distance or it may be at any convenient distance along the length of the curve. So what we are going to do, we are going to mark points, and then we are going to join them, and we are going to form a curve, okay, of a radius of a required degree, okay, required degree or required radius. Okay, so we have, as I've told you, we have many methods to do this. So the distance between any two successive points is known as peg interval. We'll learn about this later on. Okay, what this peg interval is exactly. The method of setting out curves, okay, can be mainly divided into two categories depending upon the instrument used. Which instrument you are going to use, depending upon that, we will categorize it into two different categories. That is linear method and angular methods. Okay, as the name suggests, okay, linear, we are going to use only chains and tapes. Okay, in linear methods, we will use only chain and tape. No angular measurement instrument are used over here. Okay, so when is this method used? When is this method used? So when are used when a high degree of accuracy is not required. Okay, when you do not want a high degree of accuracy, okay, at that time we can make use of this linear methods and we can set out our curve. Okay, or when your curve is short, okay, you have a smaller curve, not a very large one. Okay, at that time you Before moving on to angular method, we will study first regarding linear methods, and then we will head on to angular. Okay, in angular method, we will make use of angular instruments, and we will set out, like we will make use of a theodolite, right? And we will set out a curve. Okay, so in detail, we will study first regarding, and we will study regarding linear methods. Okay, following are some linear methods of setting out a curve. First one, by ordinates. Okay, by ordinates or offsets. By ordinates or offsets, what we call, from the long chord. We will make use of long chord, and then we will set out our curve. Okay, we will draw offsets from your long chord. Okay, remember what is a long chord? It is the line joining T1 and T2. This is long chord. Okay, what we will do is we will draw offsets, okay, from your long chord, and then we will join those offsets to form our curve. Okay, so first what we will do, we will set our long chord, and then we will draw these offsets. Okay, and then if you join these particular offsets, right, it will form your curve. So this is the basic idea of your long chord method. Okay, what we do, we draw offsets or we draw ordinates from the long chord. Next, the second one is by successive section of arcs. This is very easy. By successive section of arcs, right? We have our tangent, right? We have a long chord. What we do, we divide it into two parts. Okay, we divide it into two parts. We draw the offset, right? We draw the mid ordinate. Then we draw this again. Then we join these two. Okay, using a straight line. Then again we divide this into two parts. Then again we draw our perpendicular line. Then we join again these two parts. Okay, so successively what we do, we divide our arc, and then if you join these particular points, you will get our curve. Okay, so this is the basic idea of section. Okay, successive section of arcs. Next, third method, it says we have to draw offset from tangent. Okay, as we have drawn offset from long chord, similarly we will draw offset from tangent and we will locate our curve. Okay, so this is also very easy. Next, by offsets from chord produced. Okay, we will learn this in the last. From offsets we will produce offsets we will produce from the long chords. sorry, not from the long chord, from the chord produced. Okay, first we will start now with long chord. The first method we will look into, that is setting out of a curve by using ordinates or offsets from long chord. Okay. Before we move on into this particular methods, first we need to locate the tangent. First, what we need to locate, we need to locate the tangent, or we need to locate the tangent points, to be precise. T1 and T2 we need to locate. Okay, this is T1 and T2. So we do not know these particular locations exactly. We know just the road, right? We know this is your road and this is another road. We need to join these two roads. This is A and this is your B. Sorry, this is your C. Okay, so what we can do is we can extend these line, right? We can extend. So they will meet at a point. They will meet at a point I. Right, we can use an angle measuring instrument and we can determine this delta deflection angle, what we call as, we can determine, right, using an angle measurement instrument like an theodolite. Right, we can set it up over here and you can measure this angle. That can be done. Then the next thing what you have to do is you know the formula, right? You know the formula for tangent length T, right? R tan delta by 2. Tangent length T is equals to R tan delta by 2. So from here you measure, say something it is 30 meters or say it is 40 meters. What you do from here, you measure 30 and you mark. Right, from here you measure 30, you mark. So what is this? This point is T1 and this point is T2. Right, so we have successively located our tangent points T1 and T2. So this is the method of location of tangent point T1 and T2. Very easy, right? Very easy. So let me just read through the procedure once so that it is clear for you. Okay. Having fixed the direction of the tangents, right? We know the direction of your tangent. We know just the direction. What we know the direction. We do not know where they intersect. What we have to do, we have to produce them. Okay, we have to extend them until they meet. Okay, they meet at a point. What I? They meet at a point I. Okay, then set up a theodolite at B. What we do, as I've told you, we have to set up a theodolite at B and measure this particular angle. That measure the particular angle. Then. Okay, we are not measuring this angle. We do not know this angle. What we will measure? We will measure this angle, internal angle. Okay, what we call as I, angle of intersection, which you call I. Okay, we will measure this particular inside angle, right? This particular angle will measure. Then we know that this line is a straight line, right? A, B, B dash. It is a straight line. Straight line. So it will be how much? 180 degrees, right? 180 degrees. Straight line. So I plus phi is equals to 180. This is not phi, this is delta. Delta. I plus delta, meaning this I angle plus delta angle is equal to 180 because it is a straight line. Right, at this point, if you measure this angle, the total angle is 180. So 180 is equals to what? I plus delta. So we know I, right? We have measured I using your theodolite. So what is delta now? Delta will be equal to 180 minus I. Right? 180 minus I. So if you know delta, we can find out the tangent length T. That we know the radius R. We know delta now we have calculated. If you substitute over there, you will get the tangent length T. Okay. Suppose now I have told you tangent length is 30 meters. Then from B, you measure 30 meters and you mark. That is nothing but your point T1. Okay. From B, you measure 30 meters and you mark. That is your point T2. Okay. We know A and we know C. We do not know these points T1 and T2, which we have located now using this particular procedure. Okay, so this is one method of location of tangent, one method. Okay, now suppose you do not have an angle measuring instrument, you do not have with yourself, you do not have a theodolite. Okay, you only have linear measurement instruments. Okay, linear measurement. So what you do? So this is another procedure of locating tangent point T1 and T2. One more procedure. If you do not have any angle measurement instruments, so what you have to do? Produce two straights to meet at Pi. Okay, the same thing. You produce this line, you produce this tangent line to meet at vertex V. Okay, we have vertex, it is also called as point of intersection. First procedure, the first thing that you have to do, you have to extend these two tangents to meet at V. Second, select two intervisible points E and G on the two straights. Equidistant from V, very important. It has to be equidistant from V. Okay, so what we do, we select a point E, okay, and we select a point G, such that they are intervisible to each other. They are intervisible to each other, and this distance is equal. EV is equals to VG. Okay, make sure that both of these are equidistant. Okay, and these two are intervisible. Okay, then what we do, we join these two lines. See, I have joined these two lines. Then you bisect this particular line, e.g. you bisect, meaning you divide it into half. Bisect it, meaning divide it into half. That is point F. You have identified point F. Then you join these two lines. You join these two lines. It is VF. Okay. Now, this is one triangle over here. This is one triangle. Let me highlight your triangle. Okay. You can observe now. This is your triangle VEF. Okay, this is one triangle VEF. It is a right angle triangle. And one more triangle you have is this triangle. Right. So these two triangles are said to be similar, right? These two triangles are said to be similar. The larger triangle TOV. Okay, this larger triangle and the smaller triangle are said to be what? They are said to be similar, and from that they have derived this particular relation. Okay, you can remember this relation, no need of any derivation. You can write just this statement: from similar triangles VEF and VT1O, and you can write this derivation directly, right? This equation directly. Okay. So once we know this tangent length T, right, we have derived our tangent length D. Suppose it is 30 meters, 30 meters. Then the same thing what we have done previously. From V, you measure 30 and you mark this point T. From V, you measure 30, you mark point T2. We have successively what now done? We have successively located our point T1 and T2, tangent points T1 and T2. That is the first thing which you have to learn. Okay, location of tangent point. After you locate a tangent points, the next thing is very easy. Like next things are to be done using these particular methods. Okay, for this first thing what you have to do, you have to locate the tangent. Once you have located the tangent, you can go by any of these methods and you can set your curve. Okay, so the first thing that we have learned is location of tangent. I hope location of tangent is clear. Is it clear, guys? There are two methods. Location of tangent. Please raise your hand if you have understood. Let me see how many of you have understood. If you have not understood, if you want me to explain once more, please please say so. Understood. Abhishek has understood. Others also need to reply, please. Please raise your hand if you have understood. Yes, very good, very good. Nice. I am seeing many of you have raised your hands. Good. Okay. Thank you. No problem. You can lower your hand. Please. You can lower your hand. Okay. Yeah. Any part if you don't understand, please ask and tell me to explain once more. I'll explain. Okay. So this is regarding location of tangent. Now, before we move on to this first method, before we get into this long chord method, we will learn what we mean by peg interval. Peg is what? It is an instrument which we insert in ground, right, to mark a particular location, right. It may be form of an arrow, or it may be form of a wooden peg, right. It may be wooden peg, or it may be a steel arrow, okay, which you put or we insert in your ground to mark the location. Okay, so in case of calculation and setting out, for ease of calculation and setting out, it is essential that the pegs on the curve are at regular intervals. Okay. Now you use any of the method which I described about 4 methods, right? You use those methods, and what you do, you mark this line is not there. Okay, first you mark the points using pegs. You draw your pegs into the ground. Okay, for convenience, what we do is this distance between each pegs, right? The distance between each peg or the successive peg distance, we keep it as equal. The distance between two successive pegs, we keep it as equal for easier calculation, okay, and setting out. We suppose you keep it as 10 meters or 20 meters. Each of these intervals are kept to be equal. Okay, such this particular interval which I told, right, 20 meters, 30 meters, which we keep, it is known as peg interval, right? That thing is known as peg interval. Next, the chord joining the such adjacent pegs are known as full chord or normal chord, right? Let me show you. Once you draw and once you set your pegs and you mark your curve, see, we have marked our curve. You can see using a line, we have marked it. Now, these successive curves meaning I need to, sorry, adjacent curves meaning curves which are next to each other, sorry, the points which are next to each other. And if you join them using a straight line, this is known as a full chord or a normal chord. Okay, I am not joining these two. I cannot join these two. These are not successive chords. Sorry, not successive pegs. Right? We have to join adjacent pegs, which means pegs which are besides each other. Only these two I can join using a straight line. Okay, you cannot randomly join any pegs. Okay, you have to join adjacent pegs only. You can join these two. You can join these two, which are next to each other. Okay, so this is your what is called as your full chord. This line, what we draw a straight line, it is called as full chord or normal chord. So this is a few basics before we get into the particular topic. A few things which you need to know before we get into the real topic. By the first method now in linear methods, okay, the first method which I told you was the by ordinates from long chord, by ordinates from long chord, right? What is your long chord here? This is your long chord. Straight line joining T1 and T2. It is your long chord. Now what we do is first radius. Now we'll see what are the various elements. So R is radius of the curve, which is written over here, R, radius of the curve. O naught, which we call it as mid ordinate. Okay, O naught I have marked over here. This is O naught. This particular distance or mid ordinate, what we call as, is your O naught. Okay, this distance is O naught. Next, length of the long chord, that is T1 to T2. I have told you this is the length of your long chord. Okay, moving on. What is X now? OX. What is OX? Okay, we know this is O naught. O naught. Now, what is OX? Okay, you can see OX is this distance. Okay, we mark a point E on the curve. We have marked a point E on the curve and the vertical distance. Okay, vertical distance from E to your long chord. It is your OX. Okay, or what we call as the ordinate. Ordinate. Okay, the vertical distance or the ordinate. Ordinate at a distance X. Okay, X from the midpoint. So this is the midpoint of your long chord, right? D, which we have marked as D. From this side, going up to OX. Okay, from your D, we go up to this point. So this is your X. It is the horizontal distance. Okay, this is the vertical distance and the horizontal distance. So this is OX. This is your X. We have selected a random point E on the curve. Okay, and what we have done, we have drawn a straight line or a parallel line to this long chord. We have drawn a parallel line to the long chord and we have joined it over here. This is E1. Okay, this is E1. Next, we join this E and O. Okay, we have joined this E and O. You can see, and that EO has cut your long chord at a particular point G. Okay, it has cut your long chord at where? At G. Next, from triangle OT1D, OT1D, which is that triangle now O, you can see O here, T1 and D from this particular triangle. Okay, so this is also 90-degree triangle. You can see 90 right angle triangle. Now what have they done? OT1 square is equals to T1D square plus DO square. So what they have done, they have used the Pythagoras theorem, and they have written like this. Okay, OT1 square, right? Hypotenuse square is equal to what? This square plus this square. Hypotenuse rule they have written. Then what is this TO? It is equal to R, right? No problem. TO is equals to R. Next, this distance is equal to what? T1D is equal to what? L by 2, right? Half of your long chord, L by 2. Next, what is this? OD. OD is unknown. OD is unknown. So what we will do for OD, we will write it as CO minus CD squared, right? CO minus CD. What this distance DO? CO is from here. CO is here. CO minus what? CD. This is how we have divided our line OD. or DO, right? CO is what? It is nothing but radius, right? It is nothing but radius. And what is CD? CD is nothing but mid-ordinate, correct? CO is from here to here, which is nothing but radius of your curve. And what is CD? CD, you can see here I've written, it is nothing but mid-ordinate, okay? It is the mid-ordinate. So substituting all these things back into the equation, right? Back into this Pythagoras equation, we have substituted everything, right? R square and T1D, I have written it as half of the length of the long chord, right? L by 2, the whole square, plus CO minus CD square, CO minus CD, the whole square. So I have told you CO is nothing but radius and CD is nothing but mid-ordinate. Okay, so now what we have to do? We have to derive for O naught. Okay, O naught we have to derive. What is that O naught? O naught is nothing but your mid-ordinate. All the other things are known. Radius is known. Radius will be given to us. Length of long chord also will be given to us. Okay, so O naught is the unknown. So what we have to do? We have to simplify the equation such that we have an equation for O naught. Okay, so this particular term will go on the other side, right? R square minus L square by 2 is equals to this term. Right, this term I have transferred it on the other side, right? And the square I have transferred to the other side, it will become square root on the other side. So you can see square root of R square minus L by 2, the whole square. Okay. So O naught I have kept at this side, R will go on the other side, R will go on the other side, but this is minus O naught, right? Minus O naught. So what I'll do, I'll change the sign on the other side. So in the end, you will be arriving at this particular equation, that is for mid-ordinate. O naught is equals to R minus square root of R square minus L by 2, the whole square. This is very important equation which you have to note down. Okay, note down, make a list of formulas. Okay, yeah, I hope you have made a list of formulas which I have taught in the previous class. So to that list, add this equation also. So once you have ordinate, mid-ordinate, what you have to do next, we have to calculate this OX, okay? OX you have to calculate. Let us look into the diagram, what they have considered. Okay, OX is equals to EF is equals to E1D. EF is equals to E1D. So what is EF? Okay, OX is EF. OX is equals to EF or E1D. EF, where is F? Can you identify where is F? EF or O1D? E1D, E1D, right? This thing. Okay, what I've done is I've missed this particular F. So F is here. Okay, this point is nothing but F. Okay, OX is what? EF, right? OX is the distance EF, or it can be E1D, right? It can be also E1 to D. Same thing, right? Because this is a line parallel to the baseline or the long chord. Next, we need to find the OX, right? We need to find OX. So what can we adopt? What can we adopt? Okay, so OX is equals to E1D. E1D can be subdivided into this particular form. Okay, E1O minus DO, E1O minus DO, E1O minus DO, E1O minus DO. So what they have done is this thing, right? We need this particular distance, E1 to D. We need this distance. So what we will do, we will take the whole distance from here to here minus this distance. Okay, the whole thing is what? It is E1 O, and this thing is what? OD, right? So E1 O minus OD is equals to E1 D. Okay, so that is what is written over here. No problem. Next thing. So what we have done now, we have, instead of this E1O, instead of this E1O, what we have done, we have used the Pythagoras formula and we have converted to known things. Okay, we have converted it to known things, right? You can see we have converted it to R and X, right? So how have we converted this E1O? So we have to take the right angle triangle, right? Right angle triangle, which triangle they have taken? This particular triangle E1O. E1O triangle has been considered over here. It is a right angle triangle. Which triangle? This. Okay, E to E1, and this from here to here, and this thing. Okay, now what is the Pythagoras theorem? Pythagoras theorem says EO square is equals to what? E1 square plus E1 square plus this thing, EO squared. Sorry, E1 O squared, right? Pythagoras theorem we have applied, and what we have taken out is this E1O, right? E1O we need, right? E1O. So this particular thing will go on the other side, right? And this square on the other side, it will become square root. Okay, so square root of EO square minus E1 the whole squared. Okay, so we have converted this particular thing, and DO. Okay, DO we have converted also. We have converted DO. So how have we converted DO? It is CO minus CD. Let us check. Okay, CO is the whole thing, right? Whole thing C2O minus CD minus CD. CO minus CD is nothing but what? Your DO, right? So what is CO? What is CO? CO is nothing but radius R minus this mid ordinate O naught. CO minus R minus O naught, right? R minus O naught. So CO is R, CD is O naught. So once you do this, you will get your OX equation OX, right? So if you substitute R and you substitute sub peg intervals at 10 meters, and then R is known, mid ordinate we have calculated here, right? Mid ordinate we have calculated above. So if you substitute that value, you will get the OX distance, right? OX distance, that is from the long chord. What I have to extend, the extension from your long chord. This is OX, right? And X is what? X is the distance from the midpoint of the long chord to your particular point, right? This is X distance, and we have found out OX. Okay, similarly you can find out many points on the curve, and you can draw the particular curve. We will solve an example wherein you will clearly understand how you particularly apply this particular equation. Okay, so I have written over here, what is this? This is exact formula. Okay, this is the exact formula. So we have one more formula which is called as the approximate formula. Okay, instead of, if you have no time to do this particular all these equations, right, substitute and calculate, you can use this approximate method. Okay, but when is this approximate method applicable? If the radius is very large as compared to the length of the long chord. Okay, radius R is very large compared to the length of the long chord. You can apply this approximate method. You can solve by this approximate method. Okay, here you can see I have drawn a diagram, but in the previous exact method, X was from here, right? X was from midpoint. X we have taken from here, but in this particular approximate method, X will be considered from T1. Okay, this distance is considered as X. Very important. Do not make a mistake over here. Okay, X is not this distance. X is over here. Okay, EF. What is EF? Let us check EF. EF is here. E to F. EF is equals to OX, right? OX is equals to EG. Okay, E to G. So what they have considered is this particular EF is equal to this particular distance. Also, they have told, they have taken it as equal. They have considered it to be equal, but actually it is not equal. But in this condition, when your radius is very large compared to your long chord, this particular distance is approximately equal to this particular distance. Okay, so that they have assumed, and they have derived a formula. So this is your approximate formula. So no need to worry about this derivation. You can directly remember the formula. OX is equals to X into L minus X divided by 2R. This is your approximate formula. Okay, so this is your exact formula. Square root of R square minus X square minus R minus O naught. This is your exact formula, and this is your approximate formula. X minus X into L minus X by 2R. Okay, so we'll solve a numerical wherein you'll now clearly understand how to apply this particular formula. Okay, so the question says set out a simple curve by ordinate method. From long chord. They have mentioned which method to use. So they are using the setting out of ordinate from long chord method. We have to take the length of long chord as 80 meters. Length of long chord is 80 meters. Ordinate at peg interval of 10 meters. Peg interval is given as 10 meters. And the worst sine of 4 meter. What do you mean by this worst sine? Right, yesterday we have studied worst sine of a curve is nothing but mid ordinate, or what we call as O naught. Okay, O naught, mid ordinate. Okay, so this is the given data. Length of long chord is given 80 meters, which is from here T1 to T2. Next, O naught or mid ordinate is given 4 meters. Peg interval is said to be 10 meters. Okay, so we have this particular line with us. T1 to T2 we have. Okay, so mid ordinate is where it is at the center. Mid ordinate is at the center. Next, peg interval is said to be 10 meters. Peg interval is 10 meters. So what we will do, we will start measuring 10 meters on either side. Okay, from here you measure 10 meters, mark that as ordinate at 10. Okay, O10. Then plus 10 meters, it will become O20, right? O20 plus 10 meters, it will become O30. Similarly, go up to O40. O40. You can continue it. Okay, you can continue it up until you get your ordinate as 0, right? Because at 40 your ordinate has become 0. You can calculate and you can check, because this is totally 80 meters, right? Totally 80 meters. So this will be half, will be what? 40 meters. So your curve has to end at 40 meters, right? So your ordinate at 40 meter will be 0. This is your ordinate at 30. This is your ordinate at 20 and at 10. Similarly, it will be on the other side. Okay, it is symmetric on the other side. So mid-ordinate formula we have derived previously. Mid-ordinate r minus square root of r square minus L by 2 the whole square. Okay, you can simply substitute all these things, right? So radius is not given to us, but mid-ordinate value is given. Okay, so we will substitute mid-ordinate, right? 4 meters. Radius r is unknown. Radius r is unknown. L we know it is 40. L we know is 80. Okay, L by 2 will be 40. L by 2 will be 40. So r is unknown, you can substitute and you can simplify the equation, calculate for r, and we have got r as 202 meters. 202 meters is the radius of your curve. Okay, no problem. After r is calculated, what you have to do, you have to make use of this mid-ordinate formula, right? We have derived this mid-ordinate formula. Sorry, not the mid-ordinate, the ordinate at a distance x. Okay, ordinate at distance x. It is square root of r square minus x square minus r minus o naught. Okay, so this r minus o naught term is constant. Okay, it is not changing with x. It is not changing with x. It is constant term. So what I've done, I've calculated it separately over here. R minus o naught is equals to 202 minus 4, right? R is 202. O naught is your mid ordinate given as 4 meters. So 198. Okay, now first what we'll do, we'll calculate using x is equals to 10 meters, right? Peg interval we have considered, they have given us to consider as 10 meter. So x we'll consider first at 10 meters. So O10 10 squared minus 198, right? 198 we have calculated r minus o naught. So it will come as 3.75 meters, 3.75 meters, meaning at here you have to measure 3.75 and you have to mark this point. Okay, you have to mark this point, 3.75 meters, O10. Next, similarly, you can calculate for O20, right? The same thing, R is same, but X will change as 20 meters. X will be changing as 20 meters. So O20 is as, we have got as 3.01 meters. Okay, so this distance is 3.0101 meters. You can see that this is larger, this is smaller, right? We have a curve which is decreasing in this direction. So all the values starting from here to here will go on decreasing, and finally it will become 0 at O40. At O30 we have calculated it is 1.76 meters, and O40 you can check it is coming as 0 meters. This is a check for your problem, right? You have solved correctly, hence you have got O40 as 0 meters. It has to be 0 meters at 40 meters. Okay, so the same thing will be applicable on the other side also. Same will be applicable on the other side. It is symmetric. So whatever is O10 over here, the same thing will be here O10, right? O20 and O20. Similarly up to O40. So you have successively marked all these points. You have marked all these points. Now what you have to do, after marking, you can join these two and you can form your curve. Right, what we have done now, we have successively set out a simple curve using which method? Using long chord, offset from long chord method. Okay, I hope this part is clear. I hope you have understood the first method. Yes or no? Those who have understood can please raise their hand. And if anyone has any doubts, please feel free to ask. Please raise your hands, whoever have understood, so that I can check whoever is active and who is not. And if you have any doubts, as I'm telling, I'll explain once more. Please let me know if you have not understood any of the sections of whatever I've explained. Rohit Supe, are you there, Rohit Supe?
Yes, sir.
Understood? Prajwal Bagalkote,
Yes, sir.
Nikhil Sarapure, Nikhil, Nikhil Sarapure, are you there? Nikhil is absent, I think. He is there, but is not present. Then Murugesh Teggi,
Yes, sir.
Kathare, हितेश,
Yes, sir.
समझा? समझ में आ गया सब?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. Okay, you can lower your hand, you can lower your hand. So this is your first method wherein we have used offsets, okay, offsets or ordinates from the long chord. From the long chord, we have drawn offsets and we have joined the curve, or we have set out our curve. So this is your first method. Now moving on to second method. This is very easy, bisection method, right? Second method is successive bisection of arcs. Okay, arcs are what we call as chords. Okay, so this method I'll explain, very easy method, right? Uh, so you have this long chord with you, T1 to T2. Okay, nothing is present over here. Upside, you think that you have only this particular long chord with you, T1 and T2. Only this line is present with you. So what you will do now, next, what you will do, you will bisect, or what you will do, you will divide this particular long chord into two parts, equal parts. Then you will draw your mid ordinate, you will calculate your mid ordinate, right? Using your formula, you can calculate. You have two formulas to calculate. Okay, you can use this particular formula or you can use this formula. Either whichever data is with you, you can use, and you can calculate this mid ordinate and you can mark this point. Okay, so this point I'll mark as D, this point I'll mark as C. Okay, then I'll join these 2 points using a straight line. I'll draw a straight line and join these 2 points. Next, I'll bisect this particular line again. And I will draw again another ordinate. Okay, another ordinate. But this time, this particular, what I have to do here, it will become divided by 4. It will become delta divided by 4. Initially, it was delta divided by 2. Right, delta divided by 2. But the second time, it will become delta by 4. Okay. So similarly, on the other side, delta by 4, substitute and calculate over here. Then again, you have to join this particular line, join these 2 points using straight line. Okay, so I'll mark this point as D1. I'll mark this point as D2. And this point I'll mark as C1 and again C2. You can continue this point, this method, you can continue this particular iteration as accurate as you want. Then you can again you can again bisect. Okay, you can again bisect and again you can join, right? You can go on until you draw your particular curve. You can continue this method, right? Successive bisection you can continue until you have reached your curve. Okay, so once you do this, you will get your curve like this, in the form of a curve you will get. Right, so this is your method of successive bisection of arcs. Right, have you understood this part? So whatever I've explained here, I've written in points. Okay, same thing I've written in points as a procedure. Okay, so this is very easy, successive bisection of arcs. Second method. Now moving on to your third method. Offsets from tangents, or by offsets from tangents. So what is a tangent? This is a tangent, right? A T1 dV. So this particular straight line is your tangent. Okay, so what you have to do? You have to draw offset from tangent. In the first method, what we have done? We have drawn offset from long chord. Right? We have drawn offset from long chord and we have joined to get our curve. In the second method, what we will do? We will draw offset from your tangent. Right? We will draw offsets from your tangent, and once you join these particular lines, you will get your curve, right? You will get a curve. From tangent, you are drawing offsets. From tangent, you are drawing offsets. Okay, so this is your second method. Sorry, your third method. And under this third method, you have two methods. Again, you have two procedures which you can follow. Okay, there are two types. Okay, two types. So you have radial offset and you have perpendicular offset. Okay, radial offset and perpendicular offset. Let me show you what we mean by radial offset. You can see this is a radial offset. Okay, to this particular this particular curve, it is perpendicular. Right, so this is a radial offset. You draw radial offsets like this, and you can join these two, and you can draw your curve. This is your radial offset, and then this is your perpendicular offset. You can see it is perpendicular to your tangent. It is perpendicular to your tangent. This offset what we have drawn is perpendicular to your tangent. It is 90 degrees. Okay, similarly you can draw many offsets like this, and if you join these offsets you will get your curve. Okay, so this is perpendicular offset and this is your radial offset. So first we will learn regarding radial offsets. Okay, so we have this curve with us. We know the radius of our curve. Radius is known to us. This point T1 and D is known. Okay, the distance is it is kept as x. Okay, so this D is not the center. Okay, it is not at the center. It is at any random distance x. Okay, it is at a random distance. We have considered x. Okay, it is not at the center. Okay, don't get confused. It may be at here also. It may be at this particular point also. Okay. So D we have considered at a distance x from T1. D is considered at a distance x from tangent point T1. Okay, keep this in mind. Next, OX is what? OX is what I have told you. It is a radial offset. OX is what? It is a radial offset. Radial offset DE. Okay, DE is your radial offset. Now T1D is equals to x. T1D I have told you it is the distance x. Now from the triangle, this only one triangle we have T1DO, right? This is O. So this particular triangle we will make use of. This is 90 degrees, right? So this is a right angle triangle. So what is the Pythagoras theorem now? Pythagoras theorem says this DO squared is equals to this side square plus this square, right? T1O square plus T1D square. Okay, so what is DO? What is DO? This total thing is what? DE plus EO, right? This particular distance plus this distance. If we add, we'll get the total distance, right? So what is this? This thing we'll substitute as OX. DE is OX. And what is EO? EO is nothing but radius R. E to O is nothing but radius R. Okay, what about the remaining things now? Remaining things are kept as it is. Remaining things are kept as it is, no problem. Then T1O is what? Radius, and T1D is x, right? We have defined T1D is x and T1O is nothing but radius R, right? So we are unknown thing here is OX. So R square will go on the other side of the equation. So this is also squared, right? It is squared. So square will go on the other side. It will become square root. It will become square root, and this R will come on the other side. It will become minus R, right? So we have derived this particular equation. So this is another exact equation. Okay, exact equation of your ordinate exact equation. So we have one more equation, that is approximate formula. Okay, approximate formula. For this, what you have to do, this particular term here, right? This particular term, what we will do, we'll expand this particular term like this. We have expanded the term, and if you simplify this particular term, we have to neglect this part. Okay, they neglect this part, only consider the first two terms. Okay, because this 8 into R, it is a very large value, right? You can see it is R raised to 4 into 8, then x is divided by this very large value. This is very large value compared to x. Okay, so it will go on increasing further. So what we'll do, we'll consider only the first two terms. Okay, so R into 1 is R, and R into x square by R. So you have to multiply that inside, and this R is there already. It is there. It will come over here. So this plus R and minus R will cancel off, and OX is equals to x square by 2R. So this is an approximate formula. This is an approximate formula, and this is your exact formula. Square root of R square plus x square minus R. Okay, so they'll mention in the question whether to use exact formula or approximate formula. So depending upon that, you can use any of these two, and you can determine the offsets. Okay, determine these particular offsets, and you can find out. Next, we are done with radial method. Now moving on to perpendicular offset. Perpendicular, This is also similar. You can see this is your perpendicular offset to your tangent line, to the tangent line. Next, the same thing we will apply. We will use this particular triangle now. We will use this particular triangle, E1, EO, E1, EO triangle. We will use this is 90 degrees. Okay, so this particular hypotenuse is how much? E1 O square is equals to EO square plus E1 E square, right? Pythagoras rule we have applied again. Then E1 O we have divided into, how we have divided E1 O, this whole thing minus T1E, right? We will be left out with E1O, right? So what is this whole thing? This is nothing but radius R, right? Whole thing is R, and this thing is what? OX, right? This thing is nothing but OX, right? You can see over here we have mentioned OX. So that is what we have substituted here, R, and this is OX, and EO is nothing but R, and double E is nothing but X square, right? Double E is nothing but X square. This distance, and EO is nothing but R, right? So substitute, and OX keep on one side, remaining terms you put on other side, right? And square will also go on the other side. So the equation will become R minus square root of R square minus X square. So this is our exact formula. So similarly, as we have done in the previous thing, right? Approximate formula. Similarly, what you can do, you can expand this particular term, expand this, consider the first two terms only, consider the first two terms, and you can simplify. You can simplify, right? Then this R will cancel off. You will be left out with the same thing, X square by 2R, right? So if you are using perpendicular offset, or will is same, but the exact formula will be changing. Exact formula will be changing. Okay, so it is similar. It is similar, right? You can observe it is similar. Both are similar, right? It is plus over here, and this in the other formula it is minus. Okay, and these terms are interchanged. Okay, plus will become minus, and these terms will interchange. This will become minus. This will become plus. So this is regarding your tangent method. Okay, tangent method, wherein we have drawn offsets from the tangent, right? We are drawing offset from our tangent, and we are marking these points, and then once you join these points, you will get a curve. So you have two methods, radial offset, or you can draw perpendicular offset. Okay, so after this we are left out with one more last method. We are left out with a last method, that is, okay, after this, where is that method? Where have I written it? Okay, we are left out with the last method, that is chord produced. We have done with long chord. We are done with section of arc. We are done with tangent method. We are now left out with chord produced. Okay, so I think we have to cover the next method in the next class. Okay, so I hope you have understood today's session. I hope you have understood. So please, once everyone, can you reply whether you have understood today's session, if you have understood all the things regarding the three methods which you have studied. You can raise your hand and let me know if you have understood. Understood? Easy? Was it easy? So you have come from trigonometry and tachometry. You will find this very easy compared to those things, right? Because that is very complicated compared to this. Yes, very good. So you can raise your hand and you can let me know whether you have understood. Yes, very good. I hope you have understood, and if you have any doubt, please feel free to ask. Okay, don't hesitate to ask doubts. If you don't understand any of the part, I will explain once more. Okay, very good. So you can lower your hand. You can lower your hand. Please. Okay, so you can type in your attendance and meanwhile, if any doubt, you can feel free. You can feel free to ask. The session is open. Type in our attendance quickly, and if anyone has any doubts, feel free to ask now, or you can ask me later on also. No problem. You can ask me personally also later on. So you can give your attendance. After you give your attendance, you are free to exit the session. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Everyone, please quickly type in your attendance. And once you type in your attendance, you are free to exit the session. Yes, Nikhil, are you there? Nikhil Sarapure? Nikhil? Nikhil Sarapure, are you there?